All right, air signs. Let's talk about why you haven't heard from this earth sign. It seems like they're confused. They're confused about some type of burden. If something is going to be a burden, if this is a realistic option. Maybe they were being creative, or they were trying to charm you initially, and now that they're like, okay, well, if I gotta actually put progress in the relationship, or if this is actually going to go somewhere, you know, let's make sure that we're both balanced. They also could be trying to take an offer or invite you to make a decision when it comes to your relationship with someone else, or their relationship. Take it how it resonates. It's either yours or theirs. Somebody has a relationship with the water sign. And this could be like a sexual relationship. This could be something that they've been doing out of addiction, out of obsession, whatever the case may be. This person, if they're not dealing with the water sign, they could be obsessed with their child's mother, or someone who is a mother figure in their life. It's like, okay, well, they're still trying to make things work with their mom, and they got to pay for things for their mom, and they got to do certain things. Or, again, for their child's mother, they're putting themselves in a situation they don't need to be, because they want some type of love returned back to them. I don't know. They could be trying to give you love at the same time, give you some type of emotions, but they're pulling back. And it honestly could be because somebody's pregnant. Okay? Outcome of this relationship currently between this air and this earth sign. I almost said Virgo. If it's a Virgo specifically, I feel like you guys are going to be friends. You're going to celebrate what you created. You're going to celebrate, you know, maybe if somebody is pregnant, but it's like at the end of the day, something is just at a rock bottom. Something has to end. Somebody's going to have to make the decision. There also could be some type of legal issue, or someone is dealing with some type of authority, or they had some type of authority and that ends. So that could be affecting them as well. Okay. Overall, I feel like you should stabilize. This person moves quickly. They send messages. They have momentum from time to time. But as long as you're stabilizing, you can make the call. You can call the shots and make the decisions. When it comes to them, you know, you'll have some type of desire to move forward, or you'll be able to, you know, communicate or change your lifestyle the way you want when it comes to dealing with this person. If this is a Taurus, somebody's going to end something. Whether y'all have already ended it, or it's just a definite ending for sure. Okay, they're going through some type of change, and they're having some type of new start, and or just a fresh perspective when it comes to love. If it's a Capricorn, what haven't you heard from the Capricorn? Outcome. All right, so this Capricorn is trying to juggle. They're trying to multitask. Maybe they're not sure if you're a priority for them. They're not sure if they want to invest in this at all. Especially if you're somebody that they already walked away from, or, you know, either you walked away from them, they walked away from you. They're not interested, or they're just kind of like, they got something else on their mind. Outcome if you deal with this. Y'all may make plans, but I feel like there may be things that come up. So it's like, it never really works out. I don't know if it's actually supposed to be honest. But it's like, yeah, it's just like, okay, well, let's go out this day, and, you know, something happens to somebody's car. Let's go out this day. It was like, no, I got my kid. Or let's go out. It just never works out. Okay? And something also could be secret about how someone's moving. And so they're like, yeah, at the point that they feel like you're secretive, or if you're moving with some type of like, you're holding back something, or whatever the case may be, they're going to take their offer and go right on to someone else. All right, air signs, let's figure out why you haven't heard from this fire sign. What's going on between this air and this fire sign? Okay, so someone feels like they're creating a new beginning for themselves. Maybe they're starting to flirt with other people. They got back on dating apps, or whatever the case may be. Maybe they want to create a new opportunity, or they want something that they feel like can be abundant when it comes to relationships. They want something new. They want something stable. They could be, like I said, in taking invitations, communicating with people. They're just kind of exploring their options right now. Somebody could have a child, or expecting a child. Whether you or them. They also have some type of inspiration when it comes to their job. And so they may be committed towards that. And it's like, okay, as much as you want to invite them out or take some type of love to them, it's like they're preoccupied. Yeah, they're like, okay, they're objective, or they're just being very logical about how they do things, or, you know, how they spend their day. Something about somebody needs to change their tire. Somebody may get a flat tire. I know that's random. They also could be a change with someone that they were dealing with. I don't know if you guys initially were together, like married or in the house or something like that. But if so, they could feel like one of y'all may feel like the other one was bitter or cold or isolated, or, you know, something like that. And so they still hold on to some type of regret or disappointment when it comes to this relationship. But I feel like they are willing and or looking for something that's going to make them happy. I feel like this person is moving on. Okay. All right, let's get the outcome between the air sign and the Sagittarius. Someone could get pregnant, but I feel like as much as things look like they're going to grow, it's going to end just as fast. Someone's going to have to walk away, and they're going to be disappointed. Okay, they're going to feel like somebody was being strategic and deceptive the whole entire time, and then now they have a new burden, or they have a child, or responsibilities that come after the fact. Okay, air sign and the Scorpio. No, we're doing fire sign. Somebody could be dealing with a Scorpio, or you are air sign and a Scorpio is dealing with a fire sign. Yeah, they were committed or in a relationship with a fire sign, but somebody's bored, and somebody's like, okay, well, I don't really want to ignore the situation or the bigger picture, but I do want to walk away from this. They feel like something is toxic, either with you or with them. Heavy on the water sign if it's not a Scorpio. Okay, the air sign and the Aries outcome. Okay, it's not going to be a wish fulfillment at all. Somebody's actually going to feel very discouraged. I think it's time to let this go, especially if they've already started to walk away, for sure. Somebody also may not allow you to truly like just tap into your inner child, just kind of be who you are, or there's something that's creative that they would try to stop either, or also. Yeah, also. Okay, air signs and Leo. Something about somebody pronounce something, or the way that they say something could be interesting to you. Okay, so somebody could be open to nurturing this relationship and or this connection again between y'all. Secretly. They're going to think about it. They're going to try to go within and see how they feel about it. They may have their guard up towards you, or they may be defensive. Because they feel like you could be strategic, or you could be trying to get something out of the picture, or there's a reason why you're coming back. They don't fully trust you. Overall, it potentially could be work. It could work. Y'all would have to go through some type of like therapy. You would have to bring some type of positivity to some type of stability, or it would just be, it would be work. But it could work. You could be making sure that you have everything. I don't know if you or this water sign are still involved somehow, some way. Y'all gonna go on a trip, or it's like, let me make sure I have this, that, and the third. Or maybe you guys, it's like, okay, I want to exchange something. So it's like, okay, well, we got to meet up so I can give you this, that, and the third. Let me make sure I have everything I need. You have everything that you need, or something like that. Let's see. What's going on? Why haven't you heard from this water sign? You also could be expecting a message from somebody who's a part of a third party. If not, this person is still, dibbling dabbling. They're disconnected. They're either out there gossiping. They're out there sleeping with other people. They're doing things that they shouldn't be doing. They're still using some type of deception and or manipulation. This person has some type of self-doubt that things can kind of bounce back for them, especially when it comes to this relationship. They feel like there's some type of imbalance here. You or them have some type of unmet expectations. For sure. Someone's not trying to deal with the emotions a part of it, like they're trying to ignore it. If this is you and you're waiting to hear from like the other woman or the other man, because it's also given you're waiting to hear from them to see if they really disconnected or something like that. Because you have some type of self-doubt when it comes to a relationship that you're dealing with, or the person that you're dealing with that you're still dealing with. Yeah, there's type of mood swings. So why haven't you heard from this other person? If you're waiting to hear from the third party, maybe you are the third party. Somebody has some type of hidden agenda. Okay, there's some type of confusion that's going on, and so they're trying to figure out, okay, well, what happens to me? Do I lose something? What's going on with the finances? What do we do about something now? Somebody could be overly sensitive or overly emotional, maybe even pregnant. Okay, let's talk about outcomes. Air signs. If you go back to the Scorpio, there's going to be an imbalance. Somebody's going to want you to go to the extreme for their love, their care. It's like, okay, I wasn't even doing half of this before just to be in a relationship with them. Yeah. You're going to feel like somebody is, using you as manipulation at this point. They're going to try to dog walk you. Absolutely not. All right. Cancer. Maybe they feel like they got out of a situation, so they kind of got to go towards you, but they kind of blame you. And so because they blame you, that's why they're going to try to dog walk you. All right. Air signs and Cancer. Y'all may get into a relationship, but I feel like once you do, there's going to be some type of broken trust or broken communication. It's not going to go as well as it should. And you're like, damn, I thought this was going to be a new start or a new beginning. I thought this was going to be different. And then you're going to be juggling on if you should stay in, or how hard or practical it is for you to actually get out. You may feel defeated. Yeah. So be careful going back into a situation. They'll be trying to interrupt something that you got going on, something that you're doing. They're trying to intercept you from either doing something that you know you should be doing, and or someone else coming towards you. Okay, for sure. Somebody has a lack of empathy, so don't go back. Somebody's still going to abuse their power. Someone is still going to try to be on their high horse. It's not going to work at all. You may feel like somebody's incompetent. Like, I don't know. It's just not going to work. Leave it alone. Okay? Air signs and Pisces. What's going on, air signs and Pisces? This is not practical. Okay? There's some type of codependency either on your side or on their side when it comes to this relationship. Yeah, there's some type of disharmony. Somebody also could be like a drinker, or they do things when it comes to substances or just vices. Whatever they use to fill a void, they do it too much. Yeah. And maybe at some point you guys felt like a match, or maybe you both were doing things too much. So at one point it seemed practical, it seemed like this was the perfect, but you're realizing that y'all both are unstable when you're together. There is. And so it's a difficult choice that both y'all have to make. Long term. Somebody's going to put up the guard. Somebody's going to go through the challenge and, put up the guard towards this relationship. Once you persevere and you start to have some type of acceptance, you will forgive yourself and start to move on. You'll realize, like, okay, I don't want to be overindulging, or I don't want to have unfulfilled emotional desires when it comes to my partner. You may at one point start to give up and, like, okay, I'll just go be impulsive. But then you're like, no, you'll shake out of it. And then at the point that you shake out of it, you'll start to feel renewed, or you'll meet someone who kind of restores your faith in love. Okay? All right, air signs. Let's see why you haven't heard from this other air sign. Oh, there's some mess. You got caught up in some mess, or maybe somebody was being strategic. There was some type of deception. Somebody was trying to get what they wanted and how they wanted and when they wanted, and this backfired. Now they're looking at somebody, or somebody looks at you and like you're foolish or you're reckless. It's like, why would you even do that? Why didn't you just wait? Or I don't know. Somebody also could be being strategic right now and just being naive about it. It's kind of like, well, I'm going to see what I can still get away with, or how I'm going to climb out of this hole that I put myself in. They're trying to recover. They're trying to find some type of light at the end of the tunnel, but at the same time, the way that they're doing it is the issue. They also are not talking to you. Maybe there's something that you feel like y'all have unfinished business when it comes to like healing a relationship. Maybe you or them want some type of closure conversation. There was just always something that was like left unsaid, or there's something that was just like, okay, well, we didn't get to finish this, or maybe you feel like you didn't have any control of how something walked away or how someone left. They were kind of impulsive with it, or they changed careers, or they just randomly like, oh, I'm just going to go do this. And you're like, okay, well, damn, I thought we were, something, and you just had to, move on in or accept this. Maybe you were having an issue with accepting this, to be honest. Okay, so why haven't you heard from this air sign? They're moody. They're unstable right now. They also could feel like you're emotionally manipulative. Yeah. They have a lack of desire to communicate with you at this point. All right, let's talk about it. Outcome if you go back. Libra to Libra. It's toxic, absolutely. It's something that's like, it feels like an addiction, a codependency. It just feels like a high, but it's like, it's bad. It's giving like evil twin. Y'all need to move on from that, okay? Libra and Aquarius. Okay, so there's still going to be some type of dishonesty or imbalance when it comes to this relationship, even though you both have some type of confidence that like, okay, well, we can manifest this, or we can do something as long as we are emotionally balanced. But I feel like someone is either emotionally detached or emotionally manipulative. Either one, okay? It's not going to work. Libra and Gemini. You may be watching an older couple. Like, oh, this is so cute. So I feel like this could be balance. Somebody's going to come towards you and be calm. They're going to express their emotions. They're going to allow you to express yours. I like it. They see value in this. Okay? Initially, you may feel like, oh, I like being single. I have everything that I need. Like, I'm not going to go back in a situation to be embarrassed. But I feel like once things kind of slow down and you kind of think like, okay, wait, this is just out of fear of change, or this is out of fear of what can happen. This person actually is coming towards you to avoid conflict. You may be open to it. Enjoy.